Alright, how's it going everyone? This is Jose Trujillo once again coming to you from a corner of my art studio to bring to you some awesomeness, some awesome painting. I hope you like it. I hope you really enjoy it, and it's going to be an awesome landscape painting. Here we go. So, I was exploring the idea that for an artist to be a piece, I think that's an interesting concept, right? To be a piece, because many times what happens with artists, regardless of the medium or the type of artwork they do, many times what happens with us is that we're trying to achieve something, and that idea of trying to achieve something sometimes becomes very it can become very frustrating. I use the word painful when I refer to stuff like that, but some people don't like that word. But anyways, it's just a word. I think it's painful to the mind to not match certain things that that we're trying to get. For example, if you're painting and you're kind of following what I'm doing, or if something doesn't come out right, there's almost like this impulse, right, to be like, to be upset or whatever. But it is only because we're trying to match something. I think that's this happens to me on I wouldn't say on a regular basis, but it happens here and there to me, where I'm painting a certain subject, and I'll get into it, right? Or a certain style, not a subject. Sorry about that. A certain style. So I'll get into it. For example, I'll use the brush, and then I'll change after a few days to a palette knife or a different type of brush stroke, because I like to change brush strokes. I don't keep the same. Even though my stuff looks very similar, sometimes I like to change it. I like to change the brush strokes sometimes. But it's not until, I don't want to lose you guys. It's not until I start doing something new that I realize that I miss, mentally, right? I start thinking about, oh man, how come this is not looking the way I want it to look? Because I'm thinking about how I painted a week ago. If I make myself clear, if I make any sense. I don't know if this happens to any of you, but this happens to me. It comes and visits me. that notion of trying to match that, but I'm doing something completely different. So I have to immerse myself again to that new to the new brushwork, to the new brushstroke, and then I go in it fully, and then I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. It doesn't. I don't have the same feeling until again I start going into a different. It doesn't have to be a whole different thing. It could just be. I don't know. I hold a brush like this now rather than like this. If you guys can see it. And that creates an idea in the mind. It creates an idea that, oh man, last week I was doing something awesome. What happened? And that's really what I'm trying to get to. It creates an idea of I'm not matching what I did, last week or yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever the time is. I'm not matching it. And I think that that happens because of that. Because you get stuck on an idea of what your stuff is supposed to look like. And when you get stuck on an idea of what your artwork or your stuff is supposed to look like, it's very hard to move forward because now you have this idea, right? And that idea doesn't allow you to be free and to explore new things that may come as a result of having that freedom or being okay, being okay with you maybe I don't know what, of course I don't know the skill level of anyone who's watching, right? Where they're at in their careers or whatever, but if you are looking at an artist and you're trying to match it, and it might be very difficult at times. At times you might nail it, you might be like, oh, I got it. And other times it might be difficult because of course you may be trying to match, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's how we grow, right? As artists or whatever. But at times it may be difficult because you see your artwork and then you're comparing it, and that can create a bit of discomfort. So now that I nailed finally where I was getting at, one way to grow out of that, I believe it's very simple. It's very, very simple. And that way is just keep painting. Okay? If you're not a painter, just keep playing music, whatever you do. Just keep painting, just keep working. There is no mental practice for it. What got you there in the first place was the overthinking and the discomfort of that overthinking. There is no thinking that will get you. There's no magic thing that I can tell you or anyone can tell you, and you're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, I got it. I don't believe so. I think that only getting out of your mind, quote unquote, right, will allow you to experience, have a better experience creating artwork. And this happens to all of us. This is not, you're not alone if this happens to you. This happens to if it happens to me, it happens to everyone. It happens to all of us. We all go through that. Especially the more you do it, the more I think the more sensitive you become to it, right? You become very sensitive to little nicks and lines and styles and things that you do. And I like one of the things that Van Gogh said. I'm gonna give you a free translation, okay? Because I don't remember exactly how it went. But he said, if your mind tells you, and I've talked about it in other videos, but I'm gonna say it again because they're my videos. If your mind tells you that you can't paint, that you're not an artist, by all means keep painting, and the mind will leave you alone. That voice, he says, but it's the mind, right? The voice will leave you alone. And I'll tell you the same thing. If you feel that way, if you feel, oh man, I'm not nowhere as good as Bob Ross over here. or yesterday I got it, but not today. I don't have it today. It's all right. You can't have it all the time. It doesn't happen that way. It's just showing up. It doesn't happen that way. For me, I don't have it all the time. Sometimes I feel like I have it, like, oh man, I'm in the zone. And there's moments that I'm not. And that's really what I try to do with my daily practice of painting. What I'm really trying to do is put myself in the zone so that I don't So it's sort of like um, any spiritual or religious or whatever, however you want to put it, any spiritual person or religious person will tell you the same thing. The only thing that makes me strong is what? Everybody says the same thing. Prayer, right? Prayer. There's no thinking out of it. It's the same thing with painting. The only thing that will make you stronger and allow you to enjoy it is not any sort of thinking. It will be just painting. Painting will allow you to become stronger and thus enjoying the process of creating artwork. I hope I made any sense today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Ooh, you know what? The blue calls me. The blue calls me. I feel like this painting needs some blue. It's been calling me, like in the foreground. The blue is calling my name. Here we go. There it is. There's the blue. All right. The name is Jose Trujillo. I am the world's greatest living artist. Thank you so much for checking out my videos, and please share them with those that you think that might benefit from them. I don't know. Thank you so much, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It'll be awesome. I promise. Thank you so much. Till next time.